Mr. Brad Love, everybody. Great to see you. Great to see you. You bet, man. You know, when I come to town, I love to see your boards everywhere. Everywhere. I love those 14 by 48s. Huh?
10 by 30s.
10 by 30s. But that's one of the qualities of big idea people. They see things in expansive terms. That's okay. It's no big deal. But I love that. And I know that you are generating a lot of the, it's not just ideas, it's the courage that comes out of the ideas, right? Huh?
Yeah.
All right. Tell me about innovation in your business. All right. I know technology is a big piece of it and so on. Talk to me a little bit about innovation, how you're staying abreast of things.
Well, basically, when I first started in this industry, we did everything by hand. We actually, painted signs with paintbrushes, and I guess I've been lucky enough to see that transition over these years. I mean, I guess the thing is after 38 years, I mean, it just, and it's moving faster now than it ever has.
Oh, so it's not like it's over.
Oh, absolutely not.
I mean, we've seen the advent of giant outprint, beautiful colors, and big, massive printers. And if you're in the outdoor business, I mean, how much further can you go? Talk to me about. I know there's an answer to that.
Oh, the thing is, basically, we do have outdoor advertising, which now is going digital. We can actually, take and create the content in our office.
Yes.
And just change it instantly. And as far as the other side of the business, dynamic digital is coming along, where basically flat screen televisions will replace interior signs.
All right, now let's stop there for just a second, because I've seen a little of this around the country, not a lot. I would think the capital expense, right, to purchase this technology and put it up would be almost prohibitive, Brad. I mean, is that a challenge financially for you?
Well, actually, the cost is coming down all the time. I mean,
okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, and like I say, the technology becomes more prevalent, is getting less expensive.
But let's talk about capacity. Let's say we've got a big board on 13th Street, just down from Johnny Carson's picture. All right, and you're telling me with this digital technology that you can have more advertisers on that space than ever before, right?
Correct.
All right. Which means you get to charge more for all those messages, right?
Right.
Okay. So they're like a money machine in a way.
It can be lucrative, let's put it that way.
It can be lucrative. But let's talk about the value proposition for the customer. I mean, they're saying, wow, dazzling digital effects and color and movement and so on. So, I mean, you're giving them as much as you're getting, right? Because you're getting a much more engaging medium. Is that correct?
And it's the only medium that they can control 100%. They don't have to go outside of their office to contract that work. I mean, they can actually create the content in their office, and they're 100% in control.
Really?
Yeah, you bet.
So they're in charge of their own messaging on your board?
Well, no. You're thinking of our digital billboards, but we do also sell on-premise electronic signage. So, yes, there's a difference.
And you've expanded your product line to include, just briefly, some other things, right? I mean, you visual displays and some other cool stuff. Tell me briefly about that.
Basically, the thing about being in a small town is we're very diversified. We do, interior decor for businesses.
Sure.
We do, you name it, we do it. I mean, I guess that's kind of
anytime there's a visual that's larger than average,
that's
right?
us.
That's going to be you. Yep. Now, let's get personal here for a second. Do you sit around thinking of ideas, and advertiser says, I really need to generate more business, and I know you increase awareness. You say, I'll be back tomorrow with a couple ideas. Do you do that still?
Yes.
You do?
And I'm really excited about it, too. I mean, if somebody's sign isn't more than what it can be, I'm disappointed. I'm more disappointed than they are.
Now, does your wife say, nah, that's a crappy idea, Brad?
Yes, she does.
It's kind of like that left brain, right brain thing.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. But we compliment each other, so.
Well, keep going on with that.
You bet.
Tell me a little bit about your culture. I know that you have, the urge, new ideas and stuff like that. But do you surround yourself with real structured, efficient, rigid, disciplined people, or do you like to have an environment, an office culture that's kind of go with the flow, and if you got a good idea over there, make sure you rush in and tell me, or what?
Actually, we have a very open environment in our operation, and it takes so many different types of people to carry out this work. I mean, so many different skills.
Yeah.
Welders, electricians, installers,
Right.
designers, salespeople.
So you're putting some very different kinds of mental processes together, right? Different
Absolutely.
kinds of thinkers.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
quite a process. It really is. It's much more complex than you think it is. It truly is.
Yeah. What's the next big innovation for you as we wrap this thing up, Brad Love? You know, I'm so respectful of your family's ability to sustain and perpetuate your brand and keep evolving. And I mean, that is so awesome. What's the next? Is it just incremental innovations? The next little digital thing is cool and this and that, or is there some giant paradigm shift where you're gonna bore into the consumer's head as they drive by, or what's going on?
Well, I tell you, it's changing so fast. I mean, it's just hard to keep your eye on the target. I mean, it's just. But you've got to constantly, every day you go into the office, think of new ways to innovate our business,
Right.
just to keep up. I think in days past, you could take your time and contemplate the future a little bit more than you can today.
Yeah.
Because it's changing weekly, monthly, daily.
Do you find that stimulating or overwhelming and just want to shut it off?
Depends on what day of the week it is.
All right.
Usually Mondays is tougher than Fridays. So
I'm going to ask you one quick question here, and I think I'm going to ask the entire audience to focus on this as we do our next mixer exercise. But let's say, for instance, you're sitting around, you go to a trade show or something like that, right? You're talking to your peers around the industry. Right?
Sure.
And you ask them, you lean across the table, and you say, what percentage of your time or total resources, time and money, people, do you put into innovation? All right? Thinking of new things and coping with new things and implementing new things. All right? That's a multi-stage deal, right?
Sure.
Could be 5%, could be 80%, I don't know. Let me put you right on the spot. In your organization, which is pretty established, what percentage of your total resource base do you consciously move into innovation and say, well, let's get over there and be thinking and working on this thing and figuring out what we're going to do with this next new deal? What percentage of your total resources do you spend on that?
Wow, I'd say probably 30 to 40%.
Ah,
Honestly, quite a high number.
that's a sizable number.
It is. It truly is.
So that means you're constantly working. You must have a couple initiatives that are kind of newish going on and unfolding all the time.
All the time.
How do you deal with failure? 30 seconds.
Hate it.
Hate failure? Gee, I'm so surprised. Well, because every time you come up with a cool idea, you're envisioning the best possible outcome, aren't you?
You're only as good as your last sign.
All right. Well, Brad Love, thank you so much. I have great respect for what you do, my friend. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Lynn.
Brad Love. Love Signs. Boom. All right, here we go. Let's go. Here's the question. Very interesting. What percentage of your total resource base, time, money, and people, do you consciously invest in innovative ideas and projects and people? New ideas. All right? Check it out. 5 minutes. We'll be right back. Ask people what that number is. It was 30% for Brad Love. What's your number?
Norfolk, your people made the difference. Norfolk, you said your heart inside. Norfolk, your people made the difference. Norfolk.